just make it go like that. Welcome back. So this week, Kathleen's on a business trip, so the kilt bed will come out tomorrow because I need to scan the artwork in. And Canon's older scanners do not play well with Linux, so while I'm sure it's not impossible to get it to work together, probably not gonna, it's not worth the time. So, yeah, it'll be a day late. I'm not even high. I'm just stupid. Anyways, instead I wanted to flip it around, and I promised a movie review this week. And it's a documentary, and I'll just tell you straight off the bat. It is Clark Ashton Smith, The Emperor of Dreams, which was brought to us by Hippocampus Press. This is a documentary for diehard fans. If you're a casual fan of Clark Ashton Smith or the Lovecraft Circle, that type of thing, you'll probably be okay missing it. But if you really enjoy genre fiction, Clark Ashton Smith, Lovecraft, that whole circle, it's essential viewing. Now, right off the bat, this is put out by Hippocampus Press. I have written reviews for one of their journals, Dead Reckonings. Alex, the editor there, best editor I have ever worked with. If you ever have a chance to work with Alex, jump immediately upon that, because I am not blowing smoke here. That man, one of the few editors I've ever met that truly deserves the title of editor. So, that out of the way, I just wanted you to know, hey, did have a connection with Hippocampus, but I have nothing to do with this documentary whatsoever. Just ran a few reviews for one of their journals. I own a lot of the volumes that they produce, so because I do indeed love the Lovecraft Circle, Clark Ashton Smith, C.L. Moore, yada yada yada. You get the picture. So the documentary, the best parts of the documentary is the depth of detail that they go into on Clark Ashton Smith's life and being able to actually see the locations. Because Clark Ashton Smith, if you don't know him, was born in 1893, lived nearly all of his life within Auburn, California. He is commonly referred to as the Bard of Auburn, California, and he was a child prodigy. I believe he finished grammar school, but then said, nah, I'm done, I'm going to educate myself. And his parents agreed with this because his memory was astounding. And he read, supposedly, but it's probably true, he read every book in the Auburn Public Library. He sent a poem off to George Sterling, who is one of the best-known West Coast poets at the time, whose star was in its ascendancy, and George Sterling was blown away by this young man's accomplishments and kind of retroactively became his mentor. They hitched their wagons to each other. So it's a fascinating story, and that's even before you get into his publications in Weird Tales. The thing to remember is Clark Ashton Smith primarily considered himself a poet and a sculptor. He wrote prose, but he wrote prose in order to support his aging parents. And this is a man who lived all but the last 4 years of his life in a cabin he had helped his father build with no electricity, no running water. So it was a very bare bones existence, but it was one fueled by his astounding imagination. And I love these people. I refer to them as the unrepentant. Those people who are going to live life on their own terms and create their work irregardless of what happens around them. And Clark Ashton Smith exemplifies this. The really good point about this documentary, as I said before, is its breadth of research. You get to see the locations that primarily up until now I've only read about. And the narration. The narration on this is top notch. Whoever narrated this film, kudos. The mixing levels could have been a little bit better because when they cut from the narrator to different people either reading Clark's work or interviews, the sound level can drop precipitously, which is, I found it strange. And when I turned on subtitles, they're white subtitles, which get washed out on most backgrounds that are within the film. So there could have been a little bit better job on this, but we're dealing with not no budget, but probably a very low budget affair. I mean, it is a fan creation. And now that we are talking about fandom, here's the second point to remember. With genre literary fandom, there is a high degree of affectation, and you will see this in the interview segments that are within The Emperor of Dreams. The way that I like to really approach this is pretend that this is a film that's going to be within the film of a Wes Anderson project. And you can it kind of helps you to oversee those affectations. Not saying that these people are bad or anything, it's just, it gets a little precious at times. And that's coming from me. I'm wearing an animal liberation t-shirt. I'm just saying it. If you're not used to it, it can be off-putting. So just approach it with that mindset. It's a Wes Anderson production. Like, you probably see it in the background on there. And another point was, when people read Clark Ashton Smith's poetry within this film, there are some choices of pronunciation that will make you roll your eyes. I almost guaranteed on that. And I'm not sure why, because if you read that with just regular pronunciation, it's actually more effective. So I don't understand why those choices were made by those people, but they're genre literary fans. They will do these things. It just comes with the territory. Now, I don't mean to be hating on this film, because I enjoyed the hell out of it. I just want to give you a heads up before you yourself go into it, in case you're not used to it or it just hits you out of the blue, whatever. Because I enjoyed the hell out of this film. I mean, I geeked out on it because I love Clark Ashton Smith. I mean, I've been playing D&D since I was a junior high school student. Which, yeah, that's decades. And I've been immersed in fantasy and science fiction literature. And this is probably my favorite period, because I think after the 80s, fantasy and sci-fi became very bound by tropes and rules that were expected of it, and people wanted delivered, and if they did not deliver on those points, it was not well received. But here we have, it's kind of like why I like early cartoons. You're witnessing people working in an area where there are no rules. And Clark Ashton Smith just went there. He just went there completely. The other thing I loved was they cover when he turned from writing prose to sculpting. And he makes these beautiful pieces of outsider art that illustrate the worlds that he wrote about. And these are great. Primitive, I guess, is the term that could be used with him. Because I hate the way that outsider art has been co-opted. So there's not a real term for it, but the whole film is just a beautiful testament to the power of Clark Ashton Smith's imagination, and also a testament to those people who love him and want these works to continue on. So, if you are looking for a documentary about somebody who led a truly unrepentant life, people who to this day are unrepentant and they're going to march to be their own drummers, Because while I may critique them, I love them for those choices and their idiosyncrasies. And I believe, in that respect, Clark Ashton Smith, The Emperor of Dreams, is a documentary, succeeds upon its own terms. And today, I find that to be a truly beautiful thing. So, hope that wasn't too much rambling for you. I hope my appreciation for this film came through, even though I had criticisms of it. And I'm hoping I can edit Sybil out in the background in case you've been hearing him. Anyways, love you all. I'll see you tomorrow. Take care. Bye.